বুরদওয়ান মডেল স্কুলের সকল ছাত্রছাত্রীকে সকাল 9টা থেকে এই অনলাইন ই-লার্নিং ক্লাস অ্যাটেন্ড করার জন্য আবেদন জানানো হচ্ছে।
Good morning, student. Today I will start from geography, human geography, chapter 10, human settlement. So why today I will start from chapter 10? Because you have seen that the first 4 chapter related with the population, and this chapter in this book, human geography, human settlement also related with the human or population geography. That's why, and also when you will read from Indian book, there also you have seen that human settlement also included on that unit of human population. So that's why today I will start from chapter 10, human settlement. First, what is human settlement? It is also a very important question. The human settlement means when people set up their houses or people live in a cluster of houses on a particular places. This is called human settlement. So you know that human settlement means when people permanently live on that area. It is a settlement, because from ancient time in history you have seen people or human beings can travel from one place to another place in search of food, shelter or different reason. But nowadays you have seen that all the people try to live on a particular area in their life, because if people set up their houses in a particular area, there are so many advantages. But where people set up their houses, what are the reason? These are also very important. So in this chapter I will discuss about the human settlement all over the world. Now see, we all live in a cluster of houses. You may call it a village, town or city. So that's why all the examples of human settlement, the study of human settlement, the basic of human geography, because of the settlement in any particular region reflects human relationship with the environment. This is very important. The human settlement, where people try to live or set up their houses permanently, because obviously they are having any relationship among the human's lifestyle with their environment. That's why a human settlement is defined as a place or inhabited more or less permanently. This is very important. The human settlement is a place where people live more or less permanently. This is human settlement. These houses may be designed or redesigned, building may be altered, and also function of many changes, but settlement continues in time and space. There are maybe some settlement which are temporary, then are occupied for a short period and maybe a season. All over the world you have seen some people nowadays also they shifted from one place to another place, but they live on that one particular area for very short period of time, maybe in a season. Suppose rainy season people set off in the upland region, or when the summer or winter season come, then people change their places like that. So that's why in this chapter human settlement, they are all function we will discuss. First, classification of settlement, rural urban dichotomy. Classification of settlement, rural urban dichotomy. classification of settlement, rural-urban dichotomy. So it is widely accepted that settlement may be classified as rural and urban. Obviously, you know that it is also a important concept that people or human settlement can classify rural and urban on the basis of rural and urban, in terms of rural and urban, but there is no consequence on what exactly define a village or town. It is also very important, but there have no any permanent definition, but there have no any fixed definition about the what is rural settlement, what is urban settlement. But although population size is a very important criterion, it is not an universal criterion. Population size also important, that urban in our country, if you will consider that, always you will see that nowadays urban population number is more than rural population, but all over worldwide if you will compare that, this concept are not applicable, because in some places or in some village have in our country India and China, some village India and China, their population is more, village population is more than any European country's city or town. So obviously this concept is not acceptable, that number of population also help us to understand this is a rural population or urban population, because in our country, densely populated country like China and India, their number of population in a particular village is more than any cities of developed countries or any European or American countries. That's why at one time people living in village pursued agriculture or other primary activities, but presently in developed countries large section of urban population prefer to live in village even though they work in the cities. So rural and urban population or rural and urban settlement are also classified on the basis of their function, because you know that always all over the world if you will see the rural settlement depends on primary activity. Rural settlement depends on primary activity, whereas urban settlement depends on secondary and tertiary activity. Urban settlement depends on tertiary activity. This is also very important. The rural settlement and urban settlement. At one time, people living in a village pursued agriculture or the other primary activities, but presently in the developed countries, it is also very important information to you that in developed countries nowadays, this trend can be found that maximum people they want to live in rural places instead of urban places, but they work in the city or town. And after the end of the day, they also return back their home in village, because there are several reasons. Because you know all over the world the main problem are also face, this is the environmental pollution. You know that rather than rural region, in urban places the pollution level is high. That's why people prefer to live in rural places rather than urban places. This type of scenario you will found all the developed countries, but underdeveloped countries nowadays also it will found that maximum people try to live or try to migrate from rural to urban places. That's why the area of urban places is increasing or number of urban population also increasing. Now that's why the basic difference between town and village is that in town the main occupation of the people related with the secondary and tertiary activities. I think you know that primary and secondary and tertiary activity, these are the three type of economic activity. Primary activity are engaged with or related with agriculture, fishing, mining, animal husbandry. Her secondary activity engaged with industrial activity, and tertiary activity which is also engaged or related with providing service like banking, like insurance, doctor, teacher, lawyer, driver. All these sector, all these activity are related with the tertiary sector or tertiary activity. So among them urban settlement urban settlement are engaged with primary, secondary and tertiary activity rather than rural settlement are engaged with primary activity. This concept have all over the world, but you have seen, I have told that in developed country or developed nation, nowadays this type of concept can be found, that people try to live in rural places rather than urban places. Why? Because I have told that due to some pollution or due to some another reason, people try to live in a move away from the congested places. That's why while in the village most of the people are engaged in primary occupations such as agriculture, fishing, lumbering, mining and animal husbandry, I have told. Now another term also have in your book, suburbanization. Very important. What is suburbanization? What is suburbanization? This is a new trend all over the world. Suburbanization. What is this? It is a new trend of people moving away from the congested urban center. It is a new trend moving away from the congested center or congested urban area to cleaner areas outside of the city in search of better quality of life or living. Important suburbs develop around the major cities, and every day thousands of people commute from their homes in the suburbs to their workplace in the city. So suppose this is the main town. This is the main town or main area of or urban area. Nowadays people try to live that means it is surrounded by the urban area which is far away from the congested places, and people try to shift it in that outside of the city. This is the urban area. Urban area. This is the urban area, and outside or surrounded of this urban area, this is the place which is little or less congested, and people prefer to live on that area. This concept is called suburbanization. So suburbanization, this is a new trend that people move away from the congested places. That means in that urban area, the people, this is more congested. That's why some people, they left these places and shifted or set up their home outside of the cities, but they work in the cities. Each and every day they are coming to the cities, but after the end of the day they return back outside of the cities. They set up their houses on that areas. This is the suburbanization. This concept is called suburbanization. Nowadays all over the world, those are large city. In our country like Kolkata, Mumbai is the large city, and on that city also have same concept, that nowadays these urban areas are expanding or extend day by day. This concept is called suburbanization. In our town Burdwan also have the same suburbanization. If surrounding of the Burdwan city, Burdwan town, there are lots of people, they set up their building outside of the main town. So this concept is called suburbanization. I think you can understand suburbanization. Now differentiation between rural and urban on the basis of function are more meaningful, even though there is no uniformity in their hierarchy or the function provided by the rural and urban settlement. Obviously I have told rural and urban settlement, they are differentiated, also have on the basis of their function, but some function also have or found which is in some places this type of activity are also having in urban places, but some places also this type of activity have in rural places. Like example, you can understand, petrol pump are considered as a lower order function in United States. Petrol pump are considered as a lower order function in a United States, but if you will see that it is an urban function in our country India. The petrol pump are generally set up in urban places in our country, but if you will see that United States, this petrol pump considered as a rural function. That means maximum petrol pump are found from outside of the cities in United States. So that's why there are no uniformity, there are not unique that the function are permanently or fixed in urban or rural settlement. Function also change from one country to another country. Now another example, even within the country rating of function may vary according to their regional economy. Facility available in the village developed countries may considered rare in village of developing and less developed countries. Obviously facilities, if you compare about the facilities, urban rural population but rural settlement but rural facilities is more in developed country rather than developing or underdeveloped country. It is also very common, you know, that those type of facilities having in developed countries in rural places, they are also similar with the facilities having in urban places of developing countries. This is also important information. Like that, the facilities of urban settlement in developing countries is equivalent to facilities in rural settlement in developed countries. It is equivalent. The facilities of urban settlement in developing countries is same with the facilities of rural settlement in developed countries. That's how you can understand. Now, according to the census 1991 in our country, India's census 1991, what are the definition of urban places? It is also applicable only our country India. So this is also important. As the census 1991 defines urban settlement as all places which have municipality corporation. So urban settlement according to the census 1991. What is census? I think you know, the counting of population or the enumeration of the count of population in a country is called census. Census have done every 10 years gap from since 1881 to 2011. Every 10 years gap census have done, and next year also 2021 government will publish in country's population or census report. Now according to the census 1991, what are the definition of settlement, urban settlement in our country? That all places which have municipal corporation or municipality then municipality or municipal corporation, then cantonment board or notified town area So municipal corporation or municipality, cantonment board or notified town area which have minimum population 5,000 person. This is the number 1 criteria. Number 2, minimum population 5,000. Population number 5,000 and at least 75% male worker engaged in secondary and tertiary activity. Secondary and tertiary activity, that means non-agricultural work. Non-agricultural work and population density 400% per square kilometer. If a place having all these type of criteria, this place is considered as urban settlement. This is our country's 1991 census. 1991 census report that urban settlement, we can say that this is urban settlement if this place is having municipal corporation or municipality, cantonment board or notified area, notified town area. Population size minimum 5,000, at least 75% male worker engaged in non-agricultural work. That means this is secondary and tertiary. And population density, that means what is population density? You know, the number of people live per unit area, such as per square kilometer. It is population density. So population density 400% per square kilometer. These places we can say this is the urban. So the census of India 1991 defines urban settlement as all places which have municipality corporation, cantonment board or notified town area committee and also have a minimum population 5,000 and at least 75% male worker are engaged in non-agricultural pursuits and a density of population at least 4,000, 400% per square kilometer, then we can say this is the urban center. So I think you can understand what is the urban settlement or urban places, what are the definition. Now, types of and pattern of settlement. Now, type and patterns of settlement. Types and patterns of settlement. Now, settlement may also be classified in their shape, pattern, types. The major types are classified by the shape, basis of shape. Settlement are two types. Settlement are two types. The first one, this is compact or nucleared. Compact or nuclear. On the basis of shape, settlement are two types, compact or nuclear and dispersed. Dispersed settlement. So these are the two type of settlement on the basis of shape. So I think from dispersed, this term you know, And compact also you can understand what type of settlement we can say this is the compact settlement or nuclear settlement, and what type of settlement we can say this is the dispersed settlement. Now compact or nuclear settlement, the settlement are those in which large number of houses are built very close to each other. Obviously this settlement, all the houses are very close or congested, but and also such settlement close and developed along the river valley in a fertile plain, communication are closely knit and share common occupation. So if this type of facility have, which type of facility, like that fertile soil also have, river valley, these places are also this type of compact or nuclear settlement you will found. So compact or nuclear settlement means in this type of settlement all the houses are built up very close to each other, that's why this is called compact or nuclear settlement. And when what is dispersed settlement? In this settlement house are built up or house set up far away from each other, that means settlement are set far apart and often interspread with the field. A cultural feature such as a place, worship or a market bind the settlement together. This is the dispersed settlement. So dispersed settlement obviously in a large area, large field, but settlement are having gap or far away. It is the dispersed settlement. So compact and nuclear settlement and dispersed settlement, what are their differentiate, what are the definition, I think you can understand. So I will repeat again, the compact settlement, the settlement which built up or closely built up with each other, but dispersed settlement, the settlement house are spaced far apart from each other. And also two picture also have in your book, if you will see you can understand what is the concept or what is the definition of compact settlement and what is the definition of dispersed settlement. Now the settlement also I have told from the beginning that settlement are classified two type, rural settlement and urban settlement. Now about rural settlement we will discuss. Rural settlement. The rural settlement are most closely and directly related to the land. Obviously you know that in rural settlement I have told that rural settlement, their main characteristics are the rural settlement engage with primary activity. The rural settlement engage in primary activity. So obviously rural settlement closely related with land, that's why it is important. Rural settlement closely related with land, and also they are dominated by primary activities. I have also told that example of primary activity. Example of primary activity, this is agriculture, fishing, mining, animal rearing, etc. These are the example of primary activity. This type of activity are found in rural settlement. And also such activities are agriculture, animal husbandry, fishing. The settlement size is relatively small. The settlement size is relatively small. That's why this is the rural settlement. And also the factors why rural settlement develop or set up or formed on a particular area, there are several reasons. So this is very important. The factors affecting the location of rural settlement, these are availability of water supply, favorable land, upland, building material, defense, planned settlement. These all are the factors affecting the rural settlement or set up the rural settlement in India or all over the world. So next day we will discuss about the factors of rural settlement all over the world, and also now I will also again repeat that what are the definition of urban settlement in our country according to the census 1991. These are maximum number of people 5,000, and obviously these areas operated or governed by municipality or municipal corporation. Then maximum at least 75% male worker engaged with primary activity, non-agricultural activity like tertiary and secondary, and population density at least 400. These places, this type of places we can say urban settlement. And also types of and pattern of settlement on the basis of shape, there are two types: compact settlement and dispersed settlement. So compact settlement are generally found on that areas where different type of opportunities, different type of facilities are available. Like that, different type of facilities. Suppose any plain region, obviously you know that in last year class 11 you have read importance of plain region, or lots of facilities are available on that plain region, like they are having also fertile soil in plain region. Also plain region help to set up their building, plain region set up road and communication system also very developed. That's why maximum people try to live on that plain region. So compact or nuclear settlement are found only those places where this type of opportunities are available. But dispersed settlement are found those region having some barrier, some obstacles, like any mountain region, any hilly region or desert region where all these type of facilities are not available. You know that if you will go to the mountain region, you will see their population density is very less, and their type of settlement, this is not a congested or compact settlement. Each and every houses in between the two houses having huge gap. But in plain land or plain region, if you will see that some places also have where this type of gap, that means in between the two houses, it is very close to each other. And what are the basic characteristics of rural settlement? The rural settlements, the population size is relatively small. This is the main. Rural settlement are those areas where maximum people engage with primary activity. This is the most important. The primary activities are the main occupation in the rural settlements or rural people. So these activities: agriculture, fishing, mining, animal husbandry, etc. And also these rural settlement related with the land, because you know that primary activity are also closely related with the land. What is primary activity? You know, primary activity are those activity which is directly related with the nature or natural resources. This is called primary activity. So in agriculture, fishing, mining, animal husbandry or other primary activity, if you will see that each and every activity engage with the nature or also it is related with the land. So that's why this is the importance and this is the concept of rural settlement. And next day we will start from that factors affecting the location of rural settlement. There are lots of factors. I will explain this topic next day. Thank you.
করোনার জেরে লকডাউন, আর এই লকডাউনের জেরে বন্ধ সমস্ত স্কুল, কলেজ সহ শিক্ষা প্রতিষ্ঠান। ছাত্রদের কথা ভেবে, ছাত্রদের ভবিষ্যতের কথা ভেবে বাডওয়ান মডেল স্কুল শুরু করতে চলেছে অনলাইনে ই-লার্নিং ক্লাস। এই অনলাইন ক্লাস শুরু হচ্ছে সকাল 9টা থেকে। প্রতিদিন সকাল 9টায় এই অনলাইন ক্লাস চলবে আনন্দবার্তা নিউজ চ্যানেল, আনন্দবার্তা ফেসবুক এবং আনন্দবার্তার ইউটিউব চ্যানেলে। তাই বাডওয়ান মডেল স্কুলের সকল ছাত্রছাত্রীকে সকাল 9টা থেকে এই অনলাইন ই-লার্নিং ক্লাস অ্যাটেন্ড করার জন্য আবেদন জানানো হচ্ছে।
সামনে ঘটেনি, মানে যারা যখন টানছিল আমরা আসছি দেখছি রাস্তা আমাদের নজরে যে ভয়ঙ্করভাবে কিন্তু কিছু মানুষজন এভাবে তার গাছ ভেঙে আছে, সেই গাছে আবার তার টেনে নিয়ে যাচ্ছে। এই টেকনিক্যাল লোক ছাড়া করছে, কিন্তু এরপরে তো ভয়ঙ্কর বিপদ হবে, কারণ জল, বর্ষা, বৃষ্টি, আবার ঝড় হতে পারে, তখন এগুলো ছেড়ে যাবে। সেটা দায়টা নেবে কি? এটা তো সত্যি আমাদেরও প্রশ্ন যে এই ব্যাপারগুলো বিদ্যুৎ দপ্তর দেখুন। সেক্ষেত্রে আপনারা কিন্তু ধৈর্য ধরুন, ওরা এসে টান সেটা দেখেছেন। এখানে বসে থাকতে কোথায় গিয়ে টানছে,